Guys, welcome back to another video. This is the second Major League game and second Major League Stadium of the year. This is the Miami Marlins taking on the Philadelphia Phillies on August 11th. Had to look at the calendar. August 11th, 2022. I'm not going to stay long for the intro. It's just a normal Thursday game. Had the throwback uniforms on. And yeah, that's really all I have to say with the intro. There's not much to say. Parked a little bit further out than normal. It actually near like third base of Veterans Stadium. Usually are able to park on the nearest goal post closest to the stadium, but actually was parked a little bit further out. Phillies are a little bit better this year. They're still on the brink of not making the playoffs, so they're kind of in the middle, but they are better than previous years. Still underperforming with the talent that they do have, but they're better than previous years is the point, and they have a little bit more people showing up. So yeah, but that's good to see. Good for them. And yeah, so other than that, enjoy the video.
Like the outfield forecast. Today's post-game Morris fans from the bases is Paul Fernandez. Help us honor the United States of America. Out of respect for our country, we ask that you please remove your hats. Veterans, please salute. You're invited to join Brielle as she sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you sing?
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 Philadelphia Phillies. jersey number.
What?
First. and Luke Williams.
Alright, so this is everything gotten from the Philadelphia Phillies versus the Miami Marlins on August 11th, 2022. As you see, we have a cup. We have 2 card packs. This one was not gotten at the stadium, but I quickly was able to order the Marlins pack just because I like getting the away teams that I see as well on eBay, and it came really quickly. Actually, quickly enough to where I could actually make this video and include it in. A lot of times I have to make a separate video because it doesn't come in time, but this time it came very quickly, so I'm able to include it. And we also have the yearbook and the media guide. They also had a 1980 version of the yearbook, which I believe is left over from this past weekend, or the past weekend before I went to the game, where they had a 1980 celebration. I didn't get it because it just kind of felt like leftovers of an event that I didn't attend and wasn't at, so I just got the normal yearbook. Although, speaking of 1980, you can see on the cup here that there is a little bit of that. This was the only option, but still very cool. It's kind of the now and then. I don't know if they just released this or if this is the one that they have been using the entire year. I'm not clear on that, but they have their one free refill sticker. Didn't use it, but could have if I wanted to. Have Coke, of course, and then on this side of the cup you have the old Phillies logo, and it was appropriate that it was Throwback Thursday as well. And here's old Veterans Stadium. I don't know when the picture was taken, but I assume it's supposed to relate to 1980. And here is Citizens Bank Park, the current home, and you see that the modern side is more blue, the old side is more red, for whatever that's worth. So we will go bedside here because we have a decent amount of stuff, and we will take the yearbook over with us. As you can see, Phillies yearbook. I'm going to quickly go through this. I have not looked at this at all, so I'm not sure what is in here. Front office. This is one of those books I have to hold down with my knee for a little while. And we got a lot of ads. I believe this is the same ad that I saw in the Mets yearbook, the same exact ad. Oh, that's awkward. He's been fired from the team for months. And you got the rest of the coaches. Still on the coaches, and here we go, starting alphabetically, it looks like, with the actual roster. Starting with Alvarado and then moving, as I said, last name alphabetical. These pages are a little bit thick, so it almost feels like I'm missing pages. Hopefully I'm not anywhere. But like here, for example, it just feels like I'm missing pages when I'm turning, although I don't think I am. There's the radio station. Didi is also gone free. I don't know. I don't think anyone's picked him up at this point, but I'm actually not 100% certain on that. I know he was released from the Phillies. I have no idea if anyone picked him up. I hope someone does. He's a good player. Should be on a team. Deserves to be on a team. Just not sure if anyone's actually picked him up. And it looks like we're going through the entire 40-man roster here. We got some guys who are mainly AAA guys, even included in this. Like that one guy we just passed, Sheriff. I'm honestly not familiar with him in the slightest. Most guys in the 3 local teams and their organizations I'm pretty familiar with, but that guy just wasn't. And I guess now we're getting actually more down to those guys because there's a lot of spring training pictures and they're not full pages anymore. I don't need my knee there anymore either. We are not quite there, but we're coming close to page 100 as well. And that was mainly just the roster. See, there's an article about what they call the Bash Brothers. I assume that's what was on the cover. Don Baker's 50th season behind the mic here. And this is an extensive article, it looks like. I got a little bit of history stuff going on. Like I said, I have not touched this program yet. I said at the beginning of the season I was going to try to keep up. There's just too much to keep up on. I tried to do it for a little while, but then I was falling way behind on videos, and it's like getting these videos released should take priority over making sure that I've read the programs before, because they do take time. And you know, I think you can probably see at one point there was like a month in the summer where like I didn't really upload at all. That's because I was trying to keep up with stuff, and it's like I can't do this. I need to, like, you know, start uploading more. So I changed it up, and again, I don't really know what's in these programs as I'm going through them. I tried, but it's hard to keep up with and still keeping a consistent upload schedule. And right now we're looking at stats of every individual player, which I kind of like. It's kind of like looking at a baseball reference page without having to go to baseball reference. And also, this is actually pretty good for a program. A lot of time, or yearbook, I guess in this case, but a lot of times the programs / yearbooks don't have that extensive. Usually it's just what you saw earlier with like the pictures, the full page pictures, and that's about it. But that's cool that they actually have like their baseball reference type stats in there. There's all the other teams. And we're getting to the back because now I have to hold this down with my knee on this side. I try to. It's actually kind of impossible when I'm trying to flip the page. Guest information. This is kind of like your A to Z thing, I think. Ballpark maps here as well. A map for each of the levels. There's your parking. We usually park, well, let me get my bearings straight here. Over here is where Veterans Stadium is. And there you go. Schedule, promotional schedule, all that. Might have changed since this was printed at the beginning of the year. There we go. And we're going to move that to the side. We're going to move on to the media guide. I'm trying to do this a lot quicker. I watched the Altoona video that I did, and that was 27 minutes to get through everything that I got there, which isn't that much more than what I got here in this video. So I want to not ramble on, even though I'm doing it right now. I don't want to ramble on for as long as I did there. I don't want another 27-minute outro. I was able to do what I did before and get through the program in 7 minutes. So let's keep that pace up and not make it half an hour. Although the media guide here might slow us down, because it is 440 pages. front office personnel, executives, and obviously the media guide goes way more in depth with everything. Although that yearbook, I will say, the yearbook was pretty impressive with how in depth it went on, like I said, the baseball reference type stats and everything like that. The articles ahead will seem pretty lengthy, and they seem to have a decent amount of them. I applaud them for what looks like a pretty good yearbook. But as much as that goes into detail, media guides always go more into detail. And I don't know if this is like an actual trend now, or if it's just coincidence, but I mentioned in the Altoona video, because that was the first time I had ever picked up a media guide from a store, that is the first time I've ever seen one. And the only time, or in person, the only times I've ever seen it before was maybe once or twice on like a team's website, and I didn't get it. But as far as seeing it in person, at least noticing it anyway, that happened in Altoona. And now I'm pretty sure I've never seen a media guide at any major league stadium. Definitely didn't see one at the Mets, because after I got the Altoona one, now I'm always on the lookout for more. But Mets did not have one when I went, and now Phillies have one. So like I said, they could have had one in the past, and I just wasn't looking hard enough, or really, to be honest, wasn't paying attention before I saw the Altoona one. So maybe they always had one available for sale, but I've never seen one. So I don't know if it's like a new trend that people are getting more interested in media guides, which is cool if they are, and more places are starting to have them. But this is only the third media guide now that I have. I got one at the New Jersey Jackals as well, which is an unreleased video to this point. And that was, I wouldn't know if I'd call that a media guide. I mean, Jackals don't normally have a real program. They've had programs in the past, but it was quite honestly the worst program I've ever seen. Them and the Miners are owned by the same company. They both basically had the same program, and it was just ads. There wasn't even rosters, and the most team information you got was maybe like a schedule, and it just was a terrible program. And I think anyone with those teams would probably say the same thing, which is why I'm comfortable with saying it here, because it was bad. It's, like I said, the worst programs I've ever seen. But anyway, point is, they've never had a real program aside from that. And with their 25th anniversary, they actually went all out with that, and they actually made what they call a media guide, but in my opinion is just a normal program. It's not too long. You did have to buy it, but it's worth it, and you'll see that whenever that video gets released. They also have souvenir cups for the first time that I can remember. It might be the first time ever, I don't know. But you know, a lot of independent teams do not have them. You know, there's some exceptions, like when the Patriots were in the Atlantic League Somerset, they were always the only team in the whole Atlantic League that had cards. They even made a card set for the All-Star game when they hosted, and they're also one of the few teams that had souvenir cups as well. So Patriots were always a step above, but that was, you know, a rare case, especially in the Can-Am League, what is now the Frontier League. The three local teams, Sussex County, New Jersey, and Rockland, which is now known as New York, but will probably be known as Rockland forever to me. They are, you know, kind of the norm in the independent leagues. They don't have souvenir cups. They don't have real programs. They don't have any of that. But the only time that you ever see anything like that at those stadiums is for special events. And luckily, the Jackals chose to do something for the 25th anniversary, which included the cup and the program, like I said. And Rockland, the only time I've ever seen anything special for them, I have a cup from their All-Star game and when they hosted in 2019. That's the only thing I've ever seen like that for them. So, and by the way, I haven't even mentioned it, but you know, if you're actually watching the video and not just listening, because this is kind of turning into a podcast, but if you're actually watching the video, you'll be noticing that I'm flipping through. You're kind of seeing the same kind of stats, although they have, each individual player has their own year-by-year bio here, which is, I guess, the main point of media guides, or the main, I don't know if it's the main point, but it is one of the main things that separates media guides from programs or yearbooks, is that you really get a full written out bio of every single player on the team. And then of course you have the other stats like this, These are team stats right now. You have transactions, 2021 day by day, highs and lows of the season, I guess. All that was a 2021 in review. And now you get into the Phillies team history, which I would totally be interested in as well. Which apparently that was only one page. Okay. Didn't expect that to only be one flip of the page. We got an all-time roster, managers, all-time coaches, year-by-year finish, important dates, opening day, trades, service time, regulars by position, retired numbers, postseason history, still at the postseason. We're up to 10 and 11. Guess that's where that ends. Postseason leaders, draft selections, attendance records, best season records, best and worst, long games. I would be interested in that. And we have an ad here. That's the first ad I've seen. Awards, All-Stars, award winners, award selections, Centennial Team, Wall of Fame, which I'm finally now, it's been a few years since they moved the Wall of Fame to the outfield gate, but I am getting used to that finally, because where they used to have it is now just kind of, it was a bullpen look over area, but it was a place where like you kind of step down and the Wall of Fame was its own little area. Now that empty space has been leveled out, you don't walk down anymore. It's just the same level as the concourse, and there's just some tables there, which I guess isn't bad, but you know, I'm just saying I was never really used to it until like this year, and then it's like, oh, this is kind of normal now. This is like the third trip I think for me where the Wall of Fame has been where it currently is, and I think, like I said, I'm finally getting used to that. So continuing, big innings, individual batting records, team batting records, pinch hitting. That was all the hitting. Now we're on to pitching. And as you can see, I am going through quick. That's on purpose because you have almost a 500-page media guide. We might end up having another half-hour video, but I feel like this media guide is a lot longer, and we're making a lot better time than we were when I had a half-hour video for Altoona, like I said, because we got through the beginning part and the program in about 7 minutes. And the only reason why this is taking so long is because it's almost 500 pages. And here we go through minor league stuff, which is down my alley. You saw AAA, AA on the last page. This is high A, low A. Now we're on to Florida Complex League, Dominican Summer Leagues. There's your teams. We got stats for each of the minor league teams. I like that. Yeah, one thing Philly really embraces is their minor league system. I don't know that's how many other teams really embrace it as much as the Phillies do, but they really go all in. As a part of their scoreboard in the not outfield, but it's kind of near the foul pole on the first baseline. They, along with flipping through the major league scores, they flip through all of their minor league affiliate scores too, which is not something I can say I've really ever noticed, at least at any other major league park. I know the two New York teams don't really put a huge emphasis on their minor league teams, at least when you're at their stadium. So it is cool. And Phillies, not only embrace at the stadium, but you notice on their broadcast too, that they really embrace. They do like a score check. Although I will say on Yankees radio last night during the postgame, they did go over the minor league score. So, every team has a little bit of embracement of their minor league teams. I think they kind of have to. But my point is, I don't think any team does it better. At least the local teams, out of the three local teams, Philly does the best in embracing its minor leagues. I'm not actually, I zoned out. I don't actually know where we're at in the book. I've just been flipping because it's so long, but that's not a bad thing. This will give me plenty of reading to do in downtime. In breaking news, I can still read ESPN notifications while I'm recording. Miami is hosting the 2026 college football playoff. All right, that's I don't really care that much. It's nothing local, so it's like, all right. Okay, here's all your broadcasters, by the way. Media information. Seating diagram. Facts about the park. Continuing. There's a lot of stuff that I would definitely be interested in actually going into and reading. If I still have this laying around next summer, you know, I might have a lot of time to do stuff like this next summer. Sit down and read some old stuff. I'm not going to say what that is yet, but I might be doing a lot of looking back and reading at old stuff, having some time next summer. Yeah. Anyway, I'd say it's pretty good. Got the cards. 19 under 20 minutes still. That's great, actually, for this. That's actually perfect. I am going to pause it here and open these. Or I'm going to go through these quickly. Here's Phillies that you have in their pack, and here's what the Marlins have in their pack. 17 players each. Not the full team, obviously. So let's start with Phillies, them being the home team. And here we go. Bryce Harper. Kyle Gibson. Alec Boehm. Archie Bradley. Aaron Nola. Ronald Torreyes. Adubel Herrera. Andrew McCutchen. Huge stat board. JT Realmuto. Ian Kennedy. Zach Eflin. Ranger Suarez. Zach Wheeler. Didi Gregorius. Gene Segura. Reese Hoskins. And Luke Williams at the very back. Let's move on to Miami. We got Jazz Chisholm Jr. Joey Wendell. Sixto Sanchez. Edward Cabrera. Lewin Diaz. Pablo Lopez. Brian De La Cruz. Brian Anderson. Miguel Rojas. Jesus, I'm going to read the back. Luzardo. Trevor Rogers. Esvaldo Garcia. Jesus Sanchez. Can't read it. Elazar Hernandez. Jacob Stallings. Sandy Alcantara. And Jesus Aguilar. And I'm running short on time, which is part of the reason why I want to move this along. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.